Welcome to Wrestle Logic. Today, we're stepping back into one of the most legendary runs in WWE history, SmackDown from 2004 to 2007. This was the era of Guerrero, JBL, Batista, Mysterio, and The Undertaker, when the blue brand truly stood tall. Let's break down exactly why SmackDown was so good during these golden years. One of the main reasons SmackDown thrived from 2004 to 2007 was its roster depth. The brand split was in full swing, and SmackDown had a unique identity separate from Raw. Stars like Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, JBL, Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, and The Undertaker anchored the show, while rising names such as Batista, Randy Orton, and later Bobby Lashley gave fans a glimpse of the company's future. This combination of established veterans and fresh talent made SmackDown feel unpredictable and dynamic. In today's wrestling landscape, title reigns have become a marathon. Champions often hold belts for a year or more. And while the intention is to make the titles feel prestigious, it ends up doing the opposite. When one wrestler dominates for too long, fans start to check out. Predictability kills anticipation. And instead of creating excitement around title defenses, it turns into a waiting game for when the reign finally ends. Compare that to wrestling in the 80s, 90s, and even early 2000s. Title changes happened more frequently, and every pay-per-view or TV show had the chance to shock the audience. When championships switched hands more often, it made the belts feel alive like anything could happen. That unpredictability was a hook that kept fans invested week after week. Shorter reigns also give more wrestlers the opportunity to shine. When one champion hogs the spotlight for years, it limits how many stars can be elevated. Back in the day, multiple wrestlers could have meaningful runs in the same year, spreading the credibility around the roster. That helped build stronger mid-cards and made main event scenes feel fresh instead of stale. Another key point is that short reigns increase match drama. If fans know a champion has held the title for 600 days, they stop believing the belt will change hands on a random episode of Raw or SmackDown. But when reigns are shorter, every defense feels like a real risk. Suddenly, even weekly television matches can feel like must-watch events because the outcome isn't set in stone. Let's also talk about fan engagement. Wrestling thrives on momentum, surprises, and emotional payoffs. Long reigns often delay that payoff for so long that the excitement fizzles out. But when champions win and lose more frequently, those moments of triumph and heartbreak come more often, keeping fans emotionally invested instead of burnt out by the same old story. From a business perspective, shorter reigns also help merchandise and ticket sales. Every new champion creates a surge of interest, new shirts, new slogans, new storylines. When a title changes hands regularly, it generates fresh buzz multiple times a year, instead of putting all the weight on one big end of the reign moment. It's also worth mentioning that not every wrestler benefits from a marathon reign. Some characters are better suited for brief, chaotic title runs that match their personality. Forcing everyone into these ultra-long reigns doesn't just hurt the product, it waters down what made certain stars unique. Let wrestlers have different kinds of journeys with championships, not just one mold. Finally, shorter reigns protect the legacy of the titles themselves. Right now, long reigns are treated like the only way to make a championship matter. But historically, what made titles matter was how often they were fought for, not how long they were held. A belt should feel like the most hotly contested prize in the company, not a prop that sits on one wrestler's shoulder for years at a time. So at the end of the day, wrestling needs balance. Long reigns should exist, but they should be rare and meaningful, not the default. The magic of wrestling has always been its unpredictability, and bringing back shorter, more competitive title runs would recapture that feeling for a whole new generation. This has been Wrestle Logic. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, in wrestling, logic always wins.